So in these episodes, we're doing a continuation of our trip out to the Bob Ward cabin area and out by the Burns Ranch area. We have a number of different people with us still. Greg Davis of the Superstition Mountain Historical Society, Brent Ruffner, and a reporter that's done a number of articles concerning the Superstition Mountains, and a number of the television shows and films and so forth. We have Sal DeGrazia with us again, hanging out with us and taking a little overview and look at things. So it's nice having these other people, but it kind of opens up and allows some interest. I'm having Woody Wampler to kind of look at the prospecting and look at the area. We know there was a limited amount of gold taken out of this area, but there was some gold found in these mines in this area. So we know that was there, but we're kind of looking at a historic area and kind of looking at it predated of, okay, what was the general interest? We will get more into the history as we go through these episodes, but it's a very historic area, and there's a lot of controversy, a lot of things with this area that just make it kind of different. And we wanted to spend a little time here because we felt we owed it for all the work and all the mentions we've made over the last couple of seasons of Bob Ward, of kind of bring it back home for a bit here and kind of then move ourselves back outside that box. So I hope everyone enjoys as we spend some more time out at the Bob Ward cabin site, and hopefully what we will find, and maybe wrapping this all up before the end of the year, we will find the scouting footage that's lost, because there is scouting footage that preceded all this that has gone missing somehow, and we know we have it because it was uploaded with the same footage for the rendezvous episode, and somehow this has mysteriously disappeared. So maybe that will just become part of the legacy of the area, as that material itself has disappeared along with a lot of other things in that area. But and anything anyone sees in the background or anything odd they pick up on, let us know, because that area has its own odd history all about it. So enjoy as we continue out at Bob Ward's cabin.
He's a pretty good size. So they were digging all different directions into this.
You can see a couple places along here where they
shine your light back here.
Here.
See that little hole on there is what the same. Yeah, you can see a couple places along here. Hey Warren, that hole on the opposite side is not Warren.
I'm Wayne.
It's the same.
I'll still answer to Warren though.
But it's the same. It's all the same.
God, that goes quite a ways back too. You know it?
Yeah, that one's weird.
It turns that way.
Plus that one.
It almost turns to the other cave.
It's like an animal was living there or something.
It looks like it turns back towards that other cave.
Let me see. There's nails too. See the nail?
Round
Watch
or
your knees.
Square? A round
It's
nail?
a round nail.
Round?
Yeah.
Square older. Square's older. Square hits. Late 1800s.
Oh, this is a get on your belly and crawl.
Yeah.
Oh, holy crap. Shit. Sal!
Yeah, I'm here.
You need to get on belly in here.
Well, I go.
Where does this turn to? Oh, no, never mind. Oh, no shit. They were digging and digging and digging.
Yeah.
They were trying to connect.
Exactly, that's what it looked like.
Yeah. That's
Came in from
crazy.
both sides.
That is crazy.
That stuff's like concrete. You can imagine how hard that was to work. That's almost like the stuff on our claim, isn't it, Frank?
Yeah.
We found some really good gold on a claim.
That doesn't
And it's hard like this.
Go look in there.
Huh?
Go look in there.
Yeah.
far back?
It goes back and curves to the left. And then they even punched a smaller hole and then a smaller hole inside the smaller hole.
Hey, Frank! Frank!
Out, huh?
There's another one over here, goes back further.
So after we explored the first opening on the west side of the hill, we discovered in an alcove on the east side of the hill they had also dug a mine going in to intersect with the one on the west side. Where the west side one they'd actually opened up as they got probably about halfway through the hillside. The one on the other side, they kept it very low. It's a crawl space, and it continually would narrow down as they got back in. I don't think they were more than probably a couple feet from connecting the tunnels. So while we believe the gold came out of the conglomerate in the tunnels, it's odd that that other side, they continued to narrow it. So they must have felt there was going to be some sort of pocket, and then they just realized they were running out, and that was it. They quit digging.
I wonder how many there are fell in the wash.
Man, that's crazy. So they were trying to pull these two together.
Somebody worked awful hard digging that stuff, guy.
Well, that's what I'm thinking, man. This
I just like that's about as good close to hard rock mining as you can get.
And they weren't clearing anything but what they had to.
No.
I mean, there's not much room at all back in here.
It
This
looked like
was
they
some
were just trying to follow
serious
a
belly working.
vein or something.
This side, though, you can see the ceiling's getting ready to give. See it, Woody? Everything's cracked here.
Yeah, it's been there a long time.
So it's starting to go. See, I can just start pulling it down.
Moisture seeped down.
The other side, the ceiling was good, but this ceiling
Moisture
is
seeped
really
down
just
there,
starting to come in.
It makes it crack open.
Yeah, I won't get too far back in that one because it's got some serious gaps.
All right.
Okay, you gotta get back in there. No, you know what? In this situation, the camera's too expensive to take in there.
Exactly.
Get yourself hurt.
Yeah. I've already been hurt once. Ow, I sat on cactus.
He follows that wash. It'll take us right around to where the trucks were, won't it?
Hey, do I have any cactus on my butt?
Right down on the bottom. I'd like to see if there's any more in the wash.
I went in. Oh no, it's on the side.
Feel how light it is. That's been here for a while.
Wow.
Hey, no, that's just almost like toilet paper light. Yeah, the fact that you got Sal who spent years out here, and Greg who's spent over the years many times out here, and neither one of them had a clue this is here. That's what always makes it interesting, is it's right around the corner from an area they're familiar with, and no one had a clue this mine ran right through here. I wonder why they stopped.
Well, it's always important to you to go out there, and it's an area where we always miss Tom KOLLENBORN's insight, because he wasn't on the claims there for the DeCook mines in the 80s. You want these people that had history in the area and ask them about particular things. I queried Rick Gwynn as well on it, but Sal, who had been out there, had a number of stories, was very familiar with the area. You want him to be aware of, okay, did you know about this? Did you? If he wasn't, then was even Bob Ward aware? It seemed like a very particular odd area that none of them would have come across it, but the same token now, we're looking at it in preliminary research and everything. It could have been it was overgrown and nobody even realized they were there. So finding the wood and things that have just completely disintegrated over the last probably 15-20 years, it could be because we didn't see any sign of any trash or anything of anyone else having been in them, and that's usually a sign of someone taking a look at something as they leave trash behind. We found nothing, so there's a good chance that how far back do these go? Were there even claims to them? So we will look at them a little more. I don't think they're going to go back any earlier, probably than the 50s. But it is interesting that these have gone unobserved, and Sal knows that history of that area pretty well. So while we're missing some authority of people who've been out there, we did query and ask a number of other people. And it appears at this time that no one was aware that those mines were there.
Because they couldn't have been that far from meeting. I don't know. What do you think? 5 feet? 3 feet?
I haven't got down in there to see, but I'm wondering why they would even dig in there.
I have no idea.
Unless bedrock is right there.
I'm thinking like Woody. They must have been finding some placer gold in it. And when it played out on one side, they went the other side hoping to dig it. And but it was a lot of work.
I could see it if you're right on. Are you in conglomerate on the floor there, or is it bedrock on the floor?
It's conglomerate. It's all conglomerate. So it's just basically like hammering out rock out of cement all the way through.
Yeah.
And they did not make a high ceiling to work in. They just kept it just whatever they needed. And this side goes back, and it kind of narrows down, and then it cuts to the left, and then it ends up in a spot like this, and then after it goes about 2-3 more feet, then there's another spot this big. So they were trying to connect.
They was trying to do
but what they were looking for, there's no vein. Yeah, there's pyrite, but there's nothing. Yeah, there's no sense in what they were doing. So Greg, you've never seen this spot, huh?
So that's another hole?
This hole goes back, and it's very low ceiling. Ceiling's very loose. It goes back and turns towards that one, and then it narrows, and you can see where they were punching a hole trying to connect on that other side. So they were trying to connect it all the way through. For whatever reason, we don't know.
It comes up. It's a stack of rocks.
Check the markers, and then you know, have an idea what he was working.
Well, I can look off the markers, but there's nothing on the post. There's nothing on the post.
There's nothing on the post. That post is gone. It's just the footing that's there. That
Okay.
one has white PVC. So how old is that?
That's from Tom's claim.
That's probably from Tom Collins.
Tom had a mine in this mountain. Right up here,
That
Tom
one's
had a
PVC.
mine.
There's a claim marker right up on this hill over here.
And it's just a pile of rocks
So
with
there's
concrete.
a 4x4 with the paint
Four-
still
yeah.
on it.
This one over here, if you walk over the top of that ridge there, it's a white PVC. There's no numbers or no.
See your contact zone where it goes from iron to mix.
Yeah.
To mix. That's where you find your gold in the contact zone.
Why are you hauling that log, Sal?
Because I'm gonna put it in the fire. Put it in the fire.
Hey, wait.
Yeah.
Is there any roads that go up there?
Yes.
I see it like a.
Yeah, there's that. It's called the staircase mine.
Okay.
It has
That's the road over here.
stairs cut it. Yeah, we'll maybe head up there after this. Yeah, they dug all over the place.
The staircase mine was originally known as the DeCook mine. It's become commonly known as the staircase mine, not to be confused with the spiral staircase mine, which is an entirely different mine. It has stair steps in 2 different sections of it as it goes down the hill, but it's originally known as, I think the term would be as the DeCook mine, but I think over the years it's become known as the staircase mine. Bob Ward said, and I think he went to the papers and claimed that when they had dug it out, they found a tunnel and it went under the Superstition Mountains, which it did, and the newspapers came out. He took them down in. Lo and behold, there was no tunnel under the Superstition Mountains down there. So it doesn't go as far as he claimed. It's not a very deep mine.
Here you go, Woody.
Yeah. So these animals, put them in the pot of beans, huh?
Yeah, put them in with the beans.
That way when they see it, it tastes like shit, they're right.
Now, did you ever notice this one though?
No, first time.
First time for this one too, huh?
Yeah, because that don't, when you come with Bob, you don't want you to meet the cabin. You don't want to
I don't know.
Somebody's been working
This one
this.
was partially natural though.
Well,
It doesn't look, and it doesn't
That's
look
been
like
broken
it's
up
very
with somebody.
clean.
Somebody broke that
Animals
up.
living in here. This one's clean. There's no debris.
This would be the place to find the gold in the cracks when it floods.
Yeah, that's the one we
Fall right down in the cracks.
See, Woody, what do you think? I think this was more natural, and they might have dug it out a little, but I don't think this was a. I don't think they were doing a mine shaft. I think it
Hold it,
kind of
man.
naturally wore out. It's a pocket.
Let me get over and take a look too.
Come on in here, Woody. Look back in the back.
There's a lot of animals in there,
Look
ain't
at that
there?
back on that back wall.
You know, that looks like a brick wall back there, don't it?
Yeah, it looks like a brick wall.
I think I think you're right, it was to start with, but I think somebody was digging in it, just searching,
Yeah,
trying.
I think this back part here, they were digging that out.
Yeah.
But this first part, I think, was natural.
Yeah.
And look at that dirt, it's nice in here. This place doesn't have all the, somebody's living in here. It's a javelina.
Probably.
Well, no, look.
Yeah.
See that, Trevor?
What is that?
It's javelina.
Oh.
So
Javelina's been living in here.
The third mine, which is actually the one we found first, was an alcove that had been worked out in the wash, but they had dug back further and kind of worked their way to their left, kind of northwest back into the hillside, which is odd because they ended up coming from 3 different directions in that same hillside. It had probably the clearest floor, the least debris. It looks like it's something of a habitat, and when I got back in there, it was just completely covered in a fine mesh of javelina hair. So you could just run your fingers through the dirt and come up and find just javelina hair all through your hands. So there must be a group of javelina that takes shelter there pretty frequently.
See all the way back.
To there, don't
Yeah, it only goes to there.
Yeah.
There's nothing to the sides.
It's not good to be come up on the javelina inside of someplace like that.
Oh, no, when I first approached it, I was on that side of the hill. And I kind of watched it close and threw a couple rocks down.
Yeah.
And I kind of like kept an eye on it.
The freaking things will charge you. Ouch.
Watch yourself.
This is amazing to me. How a cactus can just grow right out
Oh
of,
yeah, this is cool.
out of the rock.
Help him out there. Get that little twig off of him.
Look at the one right above you.
Yeah.
Look how loose it is.
That guy's gonna come down.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
little bit bigger.
You see the blaze across the center there?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Center mark?
What are the circles on it? See how the circles are on it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Was that just someone like shooting it or something?
Probably. Yeah, they were shooting everything up out here.
Alright. Sounds like they found something up there maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, we know that big pit.
You got to have a free hand too,
Yeah, big pit.
in case you slip.
Yeah.
See, that's perfect. Every bit of that's perfect for gold. You know, where the gold get trapped into that. It's going across perfect. It's the most ideal thing. You couldn't make something, put it there any better. But I'm not going to mess with it. I'm going to leave it be. Same way across here.
You can see one hole here and one hole here where they fenced it off.
Oh.
Can you grab the shovel?
I got it. I got it.
Awesome. That's a big one.
Look, come here.
I see it. I see tailing piles.
You see the tailing pile? Just to the left, this side of it, you'll see the little white stubs on top of the hill. There's another hole right there, that's the tailings. Right between.
Is that a hole in the mountain too?
Yeah, not the top one, not above
saying,
it.
is
Come
it
down. Right next to the gray, right here. You see the one cactus with the arms that are at the bottom? Just to the right of it, you can see. Can you focus in on that?
Isn't that amazing? All these people out here prospecting, and they're all wrong because there's no gold in superstitions.
You see the cactus with the arms on the bottom?
I just smile.
Yeah.
Okay, you see the one that has like the 5 going up around it, and then
Yeah.
right behind it has one of the bottom arms wrapped around it. If you just come about 4 feet over, you'll see the white,
Your problem is if you're coming out to recreate.
where they hang the wire on it, like this one. Look behind you.
Oh, I think I see it. Yeah.
See that with the white on top? You see it right between there.
To make some money,
Yeah, I see it.
profit off of it.
Can't zoom in
get up, I
anymore,
mean-
but
So you can work, and they had Woody and Frank had a claim that one paid pretty good for a while.
Until Linda.
Yes, well, then,
Until that
then
happened.
the
Until
gold
incident
witch
happened.
put a curse on them, and it dried. It actually
Nobody
did dry
could
up
get afterwards. Huh?
No, we went out there. Every bucket, every 5-gallon bucket, you would find 3 or 4 or 5 little nuggets. And then she put the curse on it, and we went out there bucket after bucket, and nothing.
What did she do?
I've run 20 buckets out of there and got nothing.
We took off 4 of us. Her, me, Frank,
You walk on
and her
the
husband took off
Look underneath that
2.5 ounces of
Go
gold.
walk over to the rock and you'd find a nugget underneath.
We took off 2.5 ounces of gold in
How
2
did
hours.
she know that?
Just picking in the water.
that
Almost most
witchcraft,
of them
huh?
nuggets.
Yeah, something to do with wickers. you know where Wicked is.
Oh, that sounds
But you
cynical
got-
to me.
Look right here. You see the gray patch right there? Now look, yeah, now look to the left of it right there. You see
I wonder
the
if this
little
makes
white
up for
nubs.
one of the
Yep.
dowsing rods
Posts,
I've
and
lost,
there's a
or
hole
2 or
right
3.
there, and that's the tailings from it.
Oh, that's cool.
Can't tell you how many I've lost myself.
Old
Me
dowsing
and Woody
rod.
did this all summer. We
Somebody might have just laid it down, you know, and
nowhere.
got excited about something. And
Now there were
left it.
11 of us. I see 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we're missing Greg, Frank,
And Sal.
and no, Sal's down with Don.
Oh yeah.
So it's Greg, Frank,
I
and
see
Brent.
8.
Brent's
Brent.
with them. Yeah, they're off there somewhere.
They go back up river.
Hold it. Break!
He's over there.
Yeah. There's a rock.
He's over to the right. That way.
Okay.
Yeah, they went up the river.
Frank
right
likes to
here.
wander.
Right here. You see him right here through the bushes?
Yeah, I see him now.
Don't see any water.
He doesn't answer you though.
Yeah.
They're gonna go over there and say somebody was.
So the other claim marker for here is right across from us.
You want to walk over that one?
Well, that's what I was going to say. We can. The other claim marker is right over there in those bushes. Because I came up through
Did you
there
check on the claim marker, see?
and I found it. We should be able to.
information
right
on it?
here.
Oh, there's one right up on the hillside over here on the other side.
Wayne,
Woody here.
did you guys check the claim marker to see the information on it?
I took a picture of it last time.
Because we can locate them and
Yeah.
Right on the other side of the cactus. See the
Yeah, but there's
concrete?
one. There's a white. There it is. It's right through that bush. See it? It's right behind the bush.
Yeah,
You
I
can
see the
numbers.
white. You see the numbers on the white
Yeah,
right there.
okay, there. That one's right there across from us.
Not really. On this side.
You'll see it. It's sitting
Stand right,
directly
look
across
between
from
them
us.
two right there.
Oh yeah, why
See
the
claim-
lettering? To,
Yeah, the lettering.
yeah, right behind that.
If you look
Palo
right
Verde.
down here, on this side of here, this is where somebody put that group of rocks right there and poured concrete. There's a 4x4 post was in that one.
What's your name, man? I didn't-
Yeah, that's what I was looking at earlier.
See, you can see the 4x4 hole. So they took the 4x4 out of this one.
And then they put that claim marker up?
Well, I don't know. It's well, these could be overlapping claims
See,
from
look,
different
that's
times.
from the white PVC pipe.
Yeah.
So I stood it back up. So let's see what he put down for northeast, southwest. Okay, that's the northeast corner.
Yeah.
Ian.
What is it? I
think it says inspiration.
Oh, GR.
I don't know. I'll get up there. I'm heading over.
I told you somebody was working back there and I told you.
Found.
Spray paint, graffiti.
But I didn't move.
Sal wants to show me a body.
Where's it pointed?
Goes that way. Why do they paint all over the place though?
And what did Bob do?
No.
Well, it's kind of odd. Each time we went out there, we've run into a little something different. And Frank and I have both been out there on different occasions individually. And we did one scouting trip together. And then we go up on a hill and we find where there are posted mining claims, and they're generally posted very similar. They have a little cement foot and some rocks piled up, and usually PVC or a 4x4 wooden pole, and the corner section marked on them. And this was a bit odd that someone had taken some spray paint and lined up some rocks and sprayed on it. Very odd, very different. Didn't know quite what to think of it. We figured it kind of worked off to some of the claims over to the south, but it was different. I haven't quite seen someone make their mining claim or their post claims that way before.
Nelmo, North Elmo.
But there's a line here, look.
Well, and then the other thing is,
The line, it was a rock pointing that way.
is that an N or turn it? Is it a 2? 2 east
From?
Well, I don't know what's the letter. It's not an S. That could be an N.
From MO.
Yeah, N or M. So yeah, I think that's a 2.
He's got a line point. He's got a line painted.
Yeah.
So who does shit like that? Huh? Bob Ward.
The crazy people we follow in the mountains. Now, did that break off of that, or did they paint this separate. It's separate. It's painted separate.
Yeah,
Put
he put
next to
them
it.
together and then painted.
Put it next to it.
We made a line. And hit this was laying this way, pointing up there.
He had way too much time on his hands out here, is what I'm telling you.
Probably buried some cans up there on that hill.
Could be.
Well, we go in that direction. Let's go in that direction and see if we find something else.
Okay. Well, I was in that direction. You made me come back.
You didn't want to see that? You know what? Fuck you. Next time I won't show you.
Okay. Just take a picture.
He's trying to work off that gut of yours.
Oh, thanks, Greg. It's just one less guy that'll carry you out.
That's all right. I'm building one.
I earned my gut.
One burger at a time.
Exactly. One steak, one lobster
at a time.
It's a nice piece of quartz, ain't it? There's that something melted. That's quartz. Yeah.
I'm not quite clear on what the spray paint could mean in relation to things. We're going to have to go back and research some of that and kind of put it together. Frank usually puzzles these things out, comes up with a variety of different answers, what he thinks it could be. I think it's going to take some research into the different claims that have gone on over the years. Right now, we don't even know, prior to DeCook, looking at the mines we found, they go back some certain distance. They're much older mines than anything we've found out there before. This is spray paint, so we know it would be more a modernization attempt. But of course, again, Sal, who had been out there frequently and so forth, and we don't have Tom to lean on for some information, but Sal didn't recognize any of it, so he had no idea who would have done this or what those claims would be. They seem particularly probably older than anything recent in the last 10 years or so, but it was odd just finding that particular one and no other trace of anything like it in the area.